So how do you start a new world in Minecraft Education Edition and Minecraft Bedrock Edition? So let me show you what all those different toggles are. Hello world, my name is Maros, I am Minecraft Global Mentor, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I will be showing you many tips, tricks, how to do stuff in Minecraft Education Edition and Minecraft Bedrock Edition. So let's start with something simple. How do you create a new world? If you would like the video, then please hit the like button, click on the subscribe, ring the bell, and also share with your friends, because what I will be showing you is very handy and good to know. So let's start. So how do you start a new world? It's very simple. This is in Education Edition, Minecraft Education Edition. The menu in Bedrock Edition looks slightly different. Well, actually quite different, but the principles are the same. So I do play and create a new world and do new. What are the templates? This I will discuss somewhere later in different video. So new world, new. So this is the main menu for the new world creation, and let's start. World name. Of course, this is the world name. If you don't change it, the world name will be my world, but if you click here, you can write whatever the name of the world shall be. Default game mode. In a Minecraft Education Edition, you have two, right? One is survival mode, which is the classical survival Minecraft game, where you appear in the world and you need to get resources, you need sleep, you can mobs are attacking you and so on. So this is the classical survival game. Creative mode. This is the game mode where you can fly, you have everything available, and mobs are not attacking you. There is a third mode called Adventure mode, and this is a mixture of different modes. Basically, you can play the game, but you can't break anything in the world, and but you can interact with things. You can open doors, chests, and so on, but you can't break things. Why it is not in here? Yeah, because I don't know. But definitely you can change the game mode to adventure mode using commands, which I will be showing you, but some in other videos. Yeah. So let's do creative for now. Difficulty. Well, difficulty is easy. You have several difficulties here. You have peaceful, right, which is basically the negative mobs are not spawning, right, like creepers, skeletons, and so on. But you still have a dragon in the end. Yeah. That's peaceful mode. And then you have easy, normal, and hard. This means well, this is just how hard it is to kill the mobs and how accurate they are with the attacks on you, and of course they can spawn. So if you do easy, it's easier to kill the mobs, negative mobs, which are attacking you, than in hard mode. Right? In hard mode they are very precise in shooting and so on. Yeah? And I think in hard mode they can even, zombies can break the doors, right, which they can't in easy or normal mode. And peaceful, as I said, you don't have negative mobs spawning. World preference. This is when you start the world and you can get a starting map and bonus chest on the world spawn. The world spawn is a place when you first spawn in the world, and on that world spawn there will be a small chest with some goodies, like some initial tools and some resources and so on, and you can get a starting map. Permission levels for new players who join your world. So by default it's a member, but we have 3, right? So the first one is visitor, can freely explore the world but can't interact with the blocks and so on. Then we have members. This is the default mode. Members are active players, they can break things, interact, and so on. And then we have the third option, which is operator, and the operator basically can use commands to change the world itself. So this is the highest level. You as a creator are always operator, and if you give this permission to some other players, they can do things in your world which normal players would not do, can't do, because they can use commands. So I leave members. World type. So we have 3 types of the world which you can have in Minecraft. So first one is flat. Flat is infinite flat world of height of 4, right? So there are 4 blocks. On the bottom is bedrock. Then you have I think two layers of dirt, and on top there is a layer of grass, and there's nothing else, right? No ores, no trees, nothing. It's a huge flat world, which can be used for, you know, some specific cases. Yeah. Infinite world, this is a classic Minecraft world, which basically, you know, you have trees and mountains, rivers, everything. This is just a classic Minecraft world. The third option is a very interesting one. It's called old, right? And you can still use it even though it's old, but it's very handy, especially if you are creating a world which must be contained in a small area, because the size of the old world is 256 by 256 blocks, nothing else. And the height of the world is 128. So this is a small world where you can, you know, build your stuff, and the players will not run off somewhere. So they will be contained because the world is really small. And of course this can be used for some specific cases. Some biomes, right? Some biomes. Biome is basically part of the world with specific trees and climate and animals. Some biomes can't be generated in the old type of world because it's just too small, right? So be careful here. Seed. Now, seed is specifying your world. So this is basically each world in Minecraft is unique because it has its unique seed number. If you leave this blank, then the game will generate a random number based on, I think, CPU speed or something. So there's a huge algorithm behind that, and based on that string which will be generated, the world will get generated. Now, if you like the world which is being generated for you very much, and you want to give it to a friend, then you can give him the seed number, right? And when he put here the seed number, the world will generate the same as on your PC. Now, where you can get seed numbers? You can get it from some friends. You can get it from the internet when you're asking people, give me some interesting seeds. So if you see these messages, this is about this number. But of course you can use some tools which will allow you to select the world for your convenience. Where you can get a seed number, well, that's easy. I'm using, for example, Chunkbase, chunkbase.com. So if I want a specific world with some specifics, like I want to have a world where I will spawn in a jungle or in a desert or something, so I can go to Chunkbase and use the application called Seed Map Application. So I click just here. Well, and this is the application. So I just now need to use the correct version of my game. So Minecraft Education Edition is basically Bedrock Edition, but with the version 1.17 at the moment of this recording. If you are using Bedrock, then you should choose Bedrock of your version, right? So 1.17 at the moment for Education Edition. In here, the features, I can toggle on and off some features. So if I am after a biome, like a desert or something, then I leave this on, or if I am after village, then I can just leave the village on. So I will basically, at the moment, I am interested in biomes, so I will turn off everything, and I will leave just the biomes and the spawn point, right? And now I can see this is the map of the world with the seed number, this seed number, right? If I don't like it, I can click on random and it will give me a different seed number with a different world. So basically, let's say I want to do jungle. So here it is. If I move on the bottom right below the map, you can see type of biomes where your mouse floats over the map. So this is a forest, so this is not good for me. Wooded mountains. What is this? Oh, what about the Mushroom Island? So here you can basically find the Mushroom Island is one of the rarest biomes in Minecraft, right? So you can find a spawn close to the Mushroom Island, or you can spawn here and just use the teleport, because here on the bottom left side you see the coordinates. So if you would spawn in this world and teleport to the 3667 X and the Z coordinate 359, you will end up on the Mushroom Island. So basically this is how you can select the world which you like based on some features. You can toggle on and off, and then you can use just this number and put it in the seed area of the new world generation, and you will have the this specific world. Simulation distance for chunks. Right. So simulation distance. The world in Minecraft is infinite. Well, if it is not the old one, yeah, but it's infinite, and but if you are in the game, you can see the mountains in the far away lands, right? For example, now you can see those, but nothing is happening in there, yeah, because the world is infinite. Not everything is loaded into computer memory. So in here you can see how much of the world is loaded all the time around the player in the computer memory. So the world of Minecraft is divided in areas called chunks. A chunk is 16 by 16 blocks, and from top to the bottom of the world. So it's a kind of a it's an area of 16 by 16, and everything which is inside of 4 chunks radius from the player is loaded. This means the river flows, the water flows, grass is growing, sheep are eating the grass, and trees are growing, and everything. Yeah? So the bees are flying, and the redstone works, right? But the 5th chunk, which is away from the player, in this case, you can see the stuff is there. You can see the sheep is maybe there. I'm not sure, but the trees, you can see the trees, but the world is frozen in time till the chunk of it, that particular part of the world gets loaded. Well, how it gets loaded, the player will approach that part of the land, and the chunk will get loaded, because the 4 chunks around the player in this case will get loaded, and the stuff begin to happen. If you leave that area, right, then it is saved on the disk, and nothing will happen there, right? So if you have low NPCs, keep it on 4. If you have high NPCs or medium, whatever. So this is basically how much of the world will be active around you, around not just you, but any player who joins the world, right? And of course there are things, there are commands where you can say, okay, this part of the world needs to be always loaded. Yeah. This is called a ticking area, but for the ticking area I will be recording another video. Plus anything around the spawn of the world, so world spawn, those chunks are always loaded, yeah? No matter what. So the world spawn chunks are loaded always. So this is the simulation distance, how distance around the player, how how far the things are happening away from the player. World options. These are simple options. This is basically on, and if I click it, if it is on the left side, it's off. On the right side is on. Friendly fire. This is player versus player damage, so they can fight. If you don't like it, so you can disable it, so then the player can't hit each other, can't harm each other. Yeah. Show coordinates on. Off. This is very handy. I encourage you to use it, right? Especially when you are building the world. When it is done, you may not need that, yeah, but show coordinates always on. For me, especially when I play Survivor, this is crucial, to see the coordinates. Fire spreads on, fire spreads off. When a lightning hits a tree and the fire spread is on, the tree can start to burn, and the fire can spread, or a house and so on. So this is basically protecting. If it is off, then the fire will not spread. And also you can, for example, place wood into lava and the wood will not burn, right? If it is on, then the wood will burn down. Tnt explodes. What this might could be, yeah? So of course, if TNT explodes, TNT can be very damaging to your world. So if you are afraid that some players will, destroy your builds, then just do TNT off, and that's it. Yeah? There is another toggle related to destructive objects, which I will be, talking about later in this video. Mob loot on, mob loot off. So if you kill a skeleton, it will drop bones and arrows and whatever, pieces of armor. If it is on, it will drop. If it is off, then it will not drop these things, right? Natural regeneration. This is natural regeneration of the mobs, the health of the mobs. So if it is on, then they can regenerate. If it is off, they can't. Tile drops. If it is on, so this is on and this is off. If it is on, if you break a block, that block will basically keep, hovering around about the ground because you broke it, and you can pick it up and use it somewhere else. If it is off, then you break the block. That's it. Now, when you are in creative mode, even if you break blocks, they will disappear because you don't need to reuse that, because you have everything available through the inventory. But if you are in survivor and this is off, then when you break something, you will not get anything from it. You can break the tree, but you will not get any wood, right? Immediate respawn. By default it's off, because when you die in Minecraft there will be a message you died, and you can choose respawn or leave the game and so on. If this is on, when you die you will immediately respawn on the world spawn, or on the place where you just where you have your bed, which is basically where your spawn point is set. Respawn radius. Now this is very handy one. Each time when the player joins the world for the first time, he spawns, right? Basically, he spawns in the world on a certain place, which is called world spawn. Now, in here you can define how far, what is the radius of randomness, how far away from that world spawn the player may spawn. He can, of course, may spawn directly on the world spawn place, but, or in this case, like 5 blocks away from it. And now you can go here up to 128. So if I go for example 500 and I click somewhere else, I see this is the maximum is 128 blocks from the world spawn, right? Now this is very handy for when you create a world which is basically some, let's say, educational world, and you want the new players who can you give the world to someone and he enters the world for the first time, he will spawn on the world spawn, right? And you can define how far from it he will spawn. So if you want that the new player are precisely spawning in a very small contained area, yeah, then do 1 or 1 or 2. Yeah. But be careful, yeah, the world spawn, the players always spawns outside. So the world spawn can't be in a cave, the world spawn can't be in a house, right? If you do the world spawn in a house, the player will spawn on top of the house, on the roof. So always on top of the world. So basically the sky must be above him, yeah, always. So don't do world spawn inside houses, yeah, it will not work. The players will spawn on top. Yeah. Cheats. Now anything below here, below this sign here, the cheat is considered as a cheat. Surprise, surprise. So activate cheats. Basically the players can use commands. Yeah. So off, you can't use any commands. Yeah. And then on, you can use commands. If you change the world to game mode to creative, the cheats will be activated by default, but you can turn them off, which doesn't make sense, but yeah, it's a toggle. Now if you play Bedrock Edition, if you do activate cheats in your world, then you can't get any advancements, just a node on the side. Always day and do daylight cycle. Now in the Minecraft world you can have, of course, there is a daylight cycle, so you have night and you have day, and a day is 10 minutes and night is 10 minutes. So basically one day in Minecraft is 20 minutes of the real world. So if you want that, if you don't want that, so you want to freeze the time, so it will be always night or always day or always sunset or sunrise, turn this off, right? So the time will be frozen. Now always day is slightly different, right? When you do always day, it will be always noon, right? The sun will be above your head all the time. If you do this, yeah, always day off and do daylight cycle, but so the daylight cycle, basically you can do it also with commands, but if you do turn off the daylight cycle and it is sunrise, then there will be always a sunrise in the world. Yeah. So I like always day, especially when I am creating stuff, because of course I can change it to night when I need to, but I like always day. Keep inventory. When a player dies, the inventory will not get lost. Usually when the player dies in the game, all the stuff which he has will drop on the ground and will be floating there till someone pick it up, or it will despawn within I think 5 minutes when loaded in a loaded chunk. right? Now keep inventory means, so if the player dies, you know, he will so anything what he had will be kept in his inventory handy, if, you know, in some special games and so on. Yeah, so this is it. Mob spawning, you can disable mob spawning. Okay, so when you do peaceful game mode, the negative mobs will not spawn, right? So the creeper will not spawn, but the sheep will. Now you can disable the mob spawning, which means there will be no entities. Now be careful, okay? Because some stuff, for example, like an armor stand, is considered a mob, right? It's an entity, yeah. So when you do this, there will be no sheep, no cows, but also no armor stand. Yeah? Mob griefing. You know, creeper explodes and leaves a huge hole in the ground. If you click here, so there will be basically no negative effects from the mobs will be applied. So if the creeper explodes, he explodes, player can get damaged, but you know, the world will not change. Yeah, so there will be no hole in the ground. Entities drop loot. So if you kill a sheep, it will, you know, there will be some wool, there will be some meat and so on. If it is on, if it is off, it will not. Right. So this is entities drop loot. Weather cycle. You have in Minecraft we have nice weather, so clear weather. We have rain or snow, and we have thunderstorm, right, with lightnings. Now the weather in Minecraft is overarching. So if it is raining in your part of the world, everywhere is raining. So it's any part of the world. So the weather is applied to the whole world, right? Now the weather cycle, of course, randomly generates. Now it's sunny, and suddenly it starts to rain. Of course, if you are a biome where it is colder biome, then it is not raining but snowing. Yeah? But it's everywhere in the. If it is raining, it's raining everywhere in the Minecraft world, and you can disable this. Yeah? But be careful. If it is raining and you disable weather cycle, yeah, then it will be always raining. Yeah, be careful here. Now these things you can change also during the game. Yeah, just saying. Command blocks enabled by default on. When you have activated cheats, you can you know, turn that off. What does this mean? This is very handy actually. Yeah? So the command blocks enabled means that the command blocks work. They do work, which means you can get a command block using a command and you can use it. Now if I turn it off, you can still get you can still get a command block. You can put it there, put some you know, commands in there, but it will not function, so it will not work. You can still have it there, and but it will not be executed. This is why it is handy, because many times, and it happened also to me, when I was working on some world, I you know, used some command, and it, for example, for teleportation, and I used it wrong, so I could not move because it was repeating block, and I could not move anywhere because it always was teleporting me to a certain place. Now you can temporarily disable the functionality of the command blocks with this command here, and then you can go back to the game and fix it. Yeah? And then you can enable it back. So basically this enables the command block to be run. Random tick speed. Everything in Minecraft happens at a random time. Basically this is a tick. Yeah? The water flows, how fast the water flows, how you know, how fast the grass is growing, so everything happens in the tick speed. So if you want, for example, the grass to grow very fast or the crops to grow very fast, you can change the this number to a higher number. Then everything basically starts working faster. So the sheep will still, you know, walk around, and because this does not speeds up the movement of the mobs. This just speeds up the what is happening around you, so in the world, right? Like the crops grow much faster, and so on. So this is the tick speed, and you can basically reset it back to 1. Show border effect. This is when you use the border, you know, the which is a block in a which you can get in the Minecraft Education Edition from the menus, from the inventory, and in the Bedrock you can get it through a command. And when you place the border, you see the border effect, the red particles, you can disable this. Yeah. So these are all the commands, the standard ones, which are also in Bedrock Edition. And this is how they are used. Now in Education Edition you have another set of commands, which is basically nearly subset of everything which is in here, and it's very similar. So if I do classroom, so allow commands, if I turn it off, what will happen in the game, basically it disables the cheats. You see, activate cheats, it's off. When I do enable allow commands, go to game, and suddenly the cheats are enabled, active cheats. So this is kind of simplification. And what is in here? Oh, this is handy one. The code builder in Minecraft Education Edition, this is not applicable. Anything in here is basically, you don't have classroom settings in Bedrock, right? The code builder here, basically, if you click on C on the keyboard, the code builder will start. When you will not use the code builder, disable it, because it happens very often. You just randomly by accident click on the C and suddenly bar. So you get the code builder. So if you will not use the code builder in the world, disable it. Always days, we talked about it. Perfect weather, basically this is the weather cycle. Yeah. So perfect weather, it will be always nice. Keep inventory, we talked about it. Allow mobs, yes, we did talk about it. Now this one, allow destructive items, this is only in Education Edition. Yeah. In Bedrock, the only toggle which we have is disable Tnt Explodes, but there are other things which can explode. Right? By using this command, allow destructive items off, you still can get it in the inventory, but you can't place those blocks like TNT, like nether crystal, I think it is called. So those are very destructive objects which can produce very big explosions. So basically you can't place them. Yeah. So this is a handy one, and this is only in Education Edition so far, as I know. Yeah. Player damage, the player can't get damage, the player can walk on lava, will not drown in water, and so on. So the player will not receive any damage. Yeah, off, on. And player versus player damage, yeah, this is this is, where was it, friendly fire, right? Immutable world, a nice one. This is basically the adventure mode, so to say. Everything in the world works, but the players can't break anything. They can only interact. They can open doors, open chests, and so on, but they can't break anything. They can't even break grass. Yeah? So this is immutable world, and this is very useful when you create some educational world, and you don't want the players to interact with that world, so you don't want them to break it, you don't want them to build in there, you just want them to use the world. So then do the immutable world. And show border effect, right? This is what we have talked about before. So it will show the particles on the border. Resources link, this is a resource button, but we will be talking about this in some later video when we will be creating stuff, right? Yeah, so basically, yeah, this is it. This is our menu. It's too many options, so that's why the video is slightly lengthy. And yeah, hope it helped. And so if the video was okay and you liked it, you got some new information from here, you learned some stuff, that is excellent. I'm very happy about that. And so then I will be asking you, so please, if you liked it, then hit the like button. Why not? And I will be preparing many other videos. I will be talking about different commands, how they are used, what you can do in the world, how can you, for example, create economy so and many different things. So do then subscribe if you are interested in there, and hit the small bell so you will get notified when I will release a new video. And of course I will be also releasing videos when I will create a new educational world, which you can download from my page mcraft.education. And if you think you have friends who might be interested in the stuff, then please do share. And if you have questions, please do ask. So yeah, leave a comment under the video, and I will be happy to respond. So thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye bye.